Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Season 9, Episode 53, overall 493 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph, Ottawa. Check out barrycullen.com for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all-electric vehicles and their Cadillac products as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210. Tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family-run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969, and I've been a customer of Barry Cullen Chevrolet since 2000, so 25 years. And Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been a proud sponsor of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show for the last 2.5 years. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned GM vehicle, go down to Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership. Great customer service, great products as well. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is also brought to you by Wellington Brewery at 950 Woodlawn Road West in Guelph, Ontario. Check out their website, wellingtonbrewery.ca. Try a Welly on, and please remember to drink responsibly. Wellington Brewery is now celebrating their 40th anniversary. First founded here in Guelph in 1985. They are one of Canada's oldest local craft breweries as well. So Wellington Breweries, the official beer sponsor of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. I hope everyone's doing well on this Monday, February 10th, 2025, the one day after the Super Bowl, where, of course, my beloved Philadelphia Eagles won their second Super Bowl World Championship with a 40-22 thrashing of the Chiefs. Kansas City got a couple of last-second garbage touchdowns. It really was a 40-6 game. Jalen Hurts gets his first Super Bowl championship and Super Bowl MVP. And I want to hear no more talk about Josh Allen being better than Jalen Hurts. So the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champions, and it was a tremendous run as well. And maybe later on, I'll talk a little more about the Eagles. But I'm excited to have my guest on today. It's her second appearance on my show and her first in about 1.5 years. And my guest's name is Olivia Lynn. She is a UK country music recording artist, songwriter, and just recently in January released her latest single, Open. And we're going to speak to Olivia Lynn, a very talented country music singer from the beautiful country of the United Kingdom, right now on Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. Good evening. I was going to say good afternoon, but in your part, it's good evening from Canada.
It is good evening. Good afternoon to you, though.
Thank you so much. Yes, you're 5 hours ahead of me, and that's the one thing I've learned about my show. Never assume your guests are always on the same time. I'm on the East Coast, you're on UK time, and this technology is just amazing how I can get guests on from any time zone in the world.
Honestly, it's absolutely insane, and it's a privilege to be here again, so thank you very much.
How are you doing to soon-to-be new mom?
I am feeling really good, yeah, feeling very positive, tired most of the time, as I said, but today I'm feeling really good and fresh. I think it might be because I've been looking forward to this for quite a while now, ever since we scheduled it, so that's good.
Since you were last on my show, have you been on any other radio stations or other podcasts?
An odd few, but do you know what? Since I've not released any new music, things really did quieten down for me. And I hadn't featured on any podcasts or any interviews or radio stations for quite a while. And you're actually my first one since releasing my song. So this is all like that feeling of excitement and freshness again, which is brilliant.
before we get into talking about your new single, for those people who maybe not did not catch your show a year and a half ago that you were on, can you just tell my audience here in the Toronto, Canada, Ontario area just a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Olivia Lynn. I am 19 years old and I'm from the UK. I'm actually from a place called Luton. And I've been singing ever since I was about 4 years old. But recently, when I say recently, I was about 15 when I got with my management company and I started to release country pop music. So it's that mix between country folk tune with that upbeat and modernized taste to it. I absolutely love it. I didn't think I could fall in love with music anymore, but I definitely did. And I started writing my own songs and I also released a music video. And yeah, that's mainly what I do. I also do a bit of beauty and stuff like that. I like to find myself as like a very fashionable fashionista girl. I'm very girly. And I am also currently 9 months pregnant as well. And I'm 3 weeks away from giving birth and seeing my little girl. I'm having a daughter. So
Well, congratulations, and that's wonderful news. And I want to say thank you to your mom for arranging your appearance today too. And can you just tell us a little bit about how much of an impact your mom's had on your music career, and as being a new grandma to your baby girl coming soon?
100%. My mum is, I can't even put into words how much that woman has done for me. She has been my rock and my support since day one. And trust me, I have had quite the journey in life in general, from leaving high school and going to college early and not knowing what I wanted to do with my career, helping me with my new management, and then helping me when I left ways of my management. And I went off to Spain last year for 6 months. She is just honestly like superwoman, and she's actually taken over the role as like a momager for me. She's helped me with all my social media, helped me arrange more podcasts and interviews and radio talks. And she's just pushed for me to keep on pursuing music. Yes, I'm pregnant and I'm about to become a mum, but she doesn't want me to lose that, and I'm very grateful that she's made sure I know that I can continue doing what I love, as well as raising a little girl. And she's so excited to be a grandma. She can't wait.
Wanted to ask you this as well. You said you were in Spain for 6 months. What was that experience like?
That was a really cool experience. It's something that I'd always kind of thought about doing, like a cruise ship or something like that. But I was in between actually going to a cruise ship or this Spain job. And what edged me towards this Spain job was, I kind of thought I'm in one place and I'm very close to my family. So if anything should happen, I can get back to my family. And they were also a family run sort of business. And so I went out in April and I did tribute acts. So I performed as Miley Cyrus. I also did a country girl act. I also performed as Becky Hill, and I did a Little Mix tribute as well. So it was really, really cool because it was something that I'd never done before. Normally I'm my own person and I sing my own stuff. So it was cool to put on like this costume and be different people, and it was an amazing experience. And I met my partner out there right at the start of the season. He's actually from Scotland, so he's not actually even from where I'm from. So that was cool. And it was an amazing experience. I did come home about a month early because I was pregnant and I was suffering quite badly with sickness. But I pushed through right as far as I could. I was still singing on stage and I was still, dancing and all that jazz. But I come home to be with my family and, see them again. And it was just amazing. And the feeling of seeing your family after so long, it was emotional. It was hard, but it definitely was a once in a lifetime experience.
How far away was Spain from where you're living in the UK?
So Spain is only about I wouldn't even say 3 to 4. I'd say 2 to 3 hours on the plane away from me. Yeah, it's really actually quite close, which is so handy because then my family, they just got on a flight and came out to see me whenever they could. They brought my siblings over for holiday when my siblings were not at school, and my nana. So it was really good that it was not local, but it's not like an 8-hour flight away where, you know, some people might have struggled to come over. So that was the handy thing about it, is I got to see my family quite a few times and they come to visit me. And if they didn't, I think I would have struggled a little bit more.
When you're down in Spain, what was a couple of your favorite things about Spain? And did you get any inspirations for upcoming songs from being in Spain, your experience there?
Yeah, so I'd say with songwriting, I definitely did get a lot of inspiration for songs. It was very different. I've always said, like, my songs have always been kind of, you know, very not angry, but a few of them are quite angry. You know, a few of them are about my exes, and you know, this is just something that I write. I wrote about it because I was feeling it at the time, and one of them is about my mum, and then you know, going from that where it's about people to then about a place, like living in the sun and you know, sleeping all day and then singing all night. Whereas like here, like it would be like singing, it would be working in the day and then sleeping at night. Do you know what I mean? So it's a very different way of life. I definitely did get some good song inspo, and it was nice because I could sit on my balcony in my apartment and write songs on the balcony at nighttime, and it was just beautiful. But yeah, the way of life out there, a few things that I loved was obviously being in the sun, was absolutely amazing. Although that said, it can be draining sometimes. You like don't realize how much the heat gets to you, especially when you're not used to it. I mean, I live in the UK and it is pretty much miserable here all the time. So going from this weather to then going to Spain and it literally being boiling hot every day and even in the evenings was a little bit hard sometimes. But I was doing what I loved, and that was the main thing. I was literally singing all the time, singing every single evening. I had one evening off, and apart from that, I was singing every evening, and I was even doing West End style shows, so like musicals, which included you know the likes of Wicked and Matilda and Sister Act and things like that. So it was brilliant.
As for the heat down there, is it kind of like a dry heat or is it a humid? Does it get really humid down there? I've never been to Spain, so I'm just asking.
I'd say humid heat. Like, you know, when you're like, so like, I just felt like everything was sticking to me. And I was in
Yes.
costumes, obviously, as well. And like, I'm trying to change in between shows. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, everything's sticking to me and it's horrible. And like, yeah, that's the only downside to it was that it was sticky heat, not even dry heat.
For those people that are watching live stream or on audio and they've never been to Spain, why would you recommend going to Spain at least for a bucket list trip?
I'd say Spain is one of the most friendliest countries I have ever been to. We don't normally go to this part of Spain. It's I performed in Salou, but we as a family normally go to Spain every year. And we've been doing that since I can remember, since I was a little girl. We normally go to Malaga, and it is just beautiful. The people are so kind and warm-hearted. They help you. The food is divine. It's just a completely different way of life. And I mean, you can say that about any country. I get it, but you know, for me, that's just what I just think it's brilliant. Everyone's so down to earth, humble. So yeah, I definitely would say if you've never been to Spain, definitely do it. And the good thing is it's a relatively cheap holiday as well compared to
Really?
these big holidays that are like, you know, if you was to go to like the Dominican Republic or like Bora Bora, you know, these fancy, like these places are amazing as well. But if that's not budget friendly to you, Spain is something that you should definitely look into.
Definitely. Is it on the same time zone as the UK?
No, it is. I think it's an hour. I want to say an hour in front. I've got it on my phone here. I'm pretty sure. Let me have a look. It
I mean,
is. It's a yeah, an hour in front.
so 6 hours ahead of me and 1 hour ahead of you.
Yeah.
So that's one thing too. I like to try to get these time zones straightened with my guests because I have a guest coming on Wednesday, and she said, "Okay, 7 o'clock," and I'm like, "Okay, 7 o'clock Eastern," and then I asked her, and she's a comedian, and she goes, I'm in Los Angeles," and I'm like, "Okay, so that's 4 o'clock. Are you okay coming on at 4?" And she goes, "Yeah, that's no problem." And I said, "That's a good thing because if I didn't double check with her, she would have come on at 7 at which is 10 o'clock my time. So it's
Yeah.
always make sure you check with your guests. But would you definitely go back to Spain again in the future?
Definitely, I would definitely go back to Spain to visit everyone that I became friends with, and go out for a holiday. But regarding of like working there, it's not something that I would actively seek to go and do work wise, purely because I that was more like a stopgap for me. I had left my management. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with music. And I thought, you know what? Just go and have some fun, do something a bit different. And I did that and I really enjoyed it. But now that I'm home, I focus in on being my own artist and country, really focusing on the country is something that I would definitely stick with. But that said, I would definitely visit as a holiday.
Since we spoke about a year and a half ago on here, how much more has country music taken off in the UK?
So much more. Honestly, everyone is jumping on the country train. Um, honestly, everyone. And I love it, but it's also frustrating sometimes, I guess, as a small artist when I've been doing country since I was 15, like 14, 15, professionally. Obviously, I was singing country before that when I was younger, but professionally wise, I was 14, 15 years old. And I'm still working my socks off and waiting for a big break. And then you see these artists on TikTok who maybe have like just started doing country like a couple months or one country song, and then they go viral, and I'm like, oh, I really wish that was me. But it's lovely to see everyone supporting the country community. And I think in a way, like for a younger generation, country was so like not frowned upon, but not really spoken about. Like for a younger generation, when I say that I sing country, they're kind of like, they kind of turn their nose up a little bit, like, what? Like they expect me to sing like pop or modern like rap and all this sort of thing. But I definitely think it is come out of the works more. And yeah, I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, just it goes to show Beyonce did one country album and she won country album of the year, didn't she? So there you go.
What are your thoughts on Beyonce going into the country music?
I think personally, this may be a little bit controversial, but I do think she did hop on the country because it's doing so well. It is doing so well, Chris. And there are so many country artists who are so underrated who have been working like their socks off, like I've said. There's so many country artists that have been doing it for so long and are so famous. And, it means everything to them. And, it is going viral on TikTok. It's something that I see on TikTok constantly is how well country music is doing, folk music. And, even little things like now it's stylish to wear cowboy boots to a festival. It's stylish to wear a cowboy hat just out and about. Whereas it wasn't really like looked at like that before. I feel anyway, since I was last on here. So I do think Beyonce did maybe hop on it because she saw it was doing so well, and clearly it's done well for her now as well because she won a Grammy over it. So
And I think why it's doing well, it's evolved. It's not like the old country music from I
no.
was born in the 70s, so I remember the 70s and 80s, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." It just used to put me to sleep, but it's
Yeah.
I've and by the way, I've had a lot of country singers on from the States and from Nashville and in Canada as well. It's really expanded globally. And I wanted to
Mm.
ask you this, Olivia, how much has the power of social media and these live streaming platforms help change, evolve country music these days?
I think massively, like massively. You know, for example, when I tell people I sing country pop and they listen to my music, I have had a few older generations kind of go, oh, well, that's not country. Because they expect to hear like a Patsy Cline or Nancy Sinatra kind of style, beat tuned song. Whereas, over the years, even now, at the start when I was 15 releasing country music, it's even so different to now. There's like country rock where, you've got like an electric guitar in the background and drums, but it's still that country sound because it's still that, like, the songwriting in country is so important. I fear country is one of the genres where it's storytelling. Everything about it is like telling a story, and it is beautiful. I think it's absolutely amazing. But yeah, I do definitely think it's evolved in so many ways. And yeah, like I've said, a lot of people are definitely jumping on the country train. And there's been a few trends. Like on TikTok, there was a trend. I can't remember the exact title of the song, but it was the one that goes, did your boots stop working? Did your truck break down? And it was like a country line dance to this song. And, so there's been so many line dances now made to different types of songs on TikTok. So yeah, I do think it's definitely evolved.
And we do have a number of viewers watching, and I have one here. Gary, I think his name is Gary Lemon. He wants to say hi, Chris and Olivia.
Hi, Gary. Yes, I do know Gary. He's absolutely lovely. I hope you're well, Gary. Thanks for tuning in.
And for everyone watching this live stream right now, if you have comments or questions or suggestions, please feel free to message me, and I will relay your questions or comments to Olivia. And speaking of that, Olivia, just can you tell us about your new management team and how important is it to have a good management team in the highly competitive music industry? And also, too, for those people that are watching live stream or on audio, wherever in the world they're watching, and they're interested in getting into the music career, Olivia, what advice would you give to them as well?
So my new management is literally me, my mom, and my dad, regarding, helping me get myself out there and things like that. I have also partnered with a new producer, and I say producer, it's more both of them. One of them produces and sorts my music, and one of them composes my music. Their names are David Hunt and Dan James Short. They are two brilliant men who are independent artists who don't have a management or a label themselves. And David Hunt has actually been releasing songs for quite a while, and I actually featured on one of his drum and bass tracks, which is a genre I've never done before. So that was really cool. But it's so different now from what it was when I was with what you would call a normal management. My normal management that I was with, she was a manager. I had a social media manager. I had a PR kind of company sorting out posting my stuff and getting me live streams and podcasts and things like that. It was all very controlled. I literally didn't do anything. All I did was write the music, get in the studio, get pictures taken. That was it. But you know what? Nothing was spoken about to me. So everything that they were doing, no one was telling me what they were doing. So now that I've departed ways, and it was a very amicable and mutual split. There was no bad blood or bad terms. It was just I'd been with my management for 3 years, and I felt that I needed to move on. That's simply all that it was. And there's certain things that I think certain managers can't do for you, and certain things that I wouldn't have been able to do for her. So when I did separate, and I'm doing it on my own, I didn't even know how I could get my royalties, Chris. I wasn't getting paid for my songs. I didn't have access to my Spotify or my Apple Music. So everyone who was streaming my music, I didn't get any, not that that's an issue, but I didn't get anything. I didn't even access my own artist profile. I had to ask for help and get hold of my own profile off of my manager again. I had to ask how to sign up for PRS and get my music out there and make sure that I wrote it and things like that. there's so many legalities of it that I just didn't know at all. I've just felt really clueless and a little bit embarrassed almost, because I've been in the music career for 5 years and I didn't know any of this. But with the amazing help of my mom and my dad, who did their own research, and my producer and my composer, who worked their socks off helping me and have continued to support me, I've gotten there in the end, and I'm up and running. I've got access to my profiles, and all of this sort of thing, and I've got the rights to the songs that I've written. So it is really important having a good management team. When I say management team, I don't mean you need to go out there and have a flashy, full on, like I said, makeup artist, hairstylist. I had all of that before. You don't need that. It's not a necessity. You don't need a PR team. It's not, if you're not financially stable to do that, or you can't find that, don't panic. Nowadays, with the power of social media and the power of, supporting each other, like how Chris supports me and I support Chris, you can get yourself out there, and it honestly is possible. And like I said, my mum and dad have been an absolute godsend. If I didn't have my mum and dad, I think I'd be even more clueless than I was at the start of this journey being on my own. And they've just been a massive help. And I think all that you need is positivity around you and someone who will push you in the right direction. Because unfortunately, nowadays, not everybody has your best interest at heart. And I think that's something that I wish me and my mum and dad wish that we would have been less naive to at the start of getting with the management and read through things properly, legalities of things, because not everybody is all nice and, I'm going to do this for free and I'm going to do this, because sadly there's always a price to pay.
That's great advice. And by the way, your mom is watching right now on Instagram. Kim,
Brilliant!
Your mom's watching. Kim's watching. Chloe's watching, and Jay K Hala 97 is joining. So I want to say thank you. Yeah, they're watching on Instagram, and this technology is amazing. You're like, I don't know, 4,000 miles away from me.
Honestly,
you're 4,000 miles away from me, and this technology really does shrink the world down and can be a great tool.
I agree. I completely agree. If social media has played and technology has played a massive part in my career. So,
and everyone that's watching, if you got comments or questions, keep them coming in. And before we get to our next question, I get another comment here from Gary, and I want to say thank you for watching. Olivia will know me as, let's see, I got my glasses on, but Boots of
Boots
UK.
of UK.
Okay. The country community is incredible. You're amazing, Olivia. And I was going to mention this to you too. How important is it having a strong support system with family and friends and that?
It is so, so important. Family and friends and support in general means everything. It can really have a massive impact on how you're feeling as an artist. I'm so lucky that people like Gary, who continue to support me, even when I was quiet, I hadn't released anything. I was in Spain and, I hadn't released music in a while. I was still getting messages. I was still being supported, and it means so much. And now that I'm back on track with releasing music again, and all of this country community has come together again and has said, right, let's get you on this podcast. Let's get you on this interview, this live stream. And it's so heartwarming, and it's so nice to see that just because I did take a break, I'm not forgotten about, and people do care and people do want to help me. So it really does mean a lot. And like I said, I could shout it from the rooftops 100 times. My family has been the main support and have been absolute godsends to me. And I am eternally grateful to my mum and dad. I may not show it all the time, or I may not even say it, although I'm pretty sure I do. I tell my mum and dad how much I love them all the time. And I'm super, super grateful. And I'm so proud to call them my parents and my mummager and my management.
Well, hopefully one day you'll be able to come over to Canada to play as well, because country music is huge over here. And there's something else I was gonna ask you, but I should have wrote it down. This is what happens when you turn my age. If you don't write stuff down when you hit a certain age, you forget.
Forget.
And that's the one thing I love about my show. I've had people that are your age on my show, and I've had people that were 80 years old, and I love doing this. And just talking to you, Olivia, I can tell how passionate you are, and whatever you do, music or in my case, radio and media work, it's important to have a passion. I think if you lose that passion, then it's probably time to move on to something else.
Oh, 100%. I agree. I think if you lose that spark for something like this, then you definitely need to move on or reconsider everything.
Gary's get another comment. Thank you, Gary. Keep them coming in. I'm loving open and wish you well for your future, both musically and as a mom. And same here as well. And speaking of that,
Thank you.
video. We're going to play that in just 1 second. Before I play this song, I have to check with you first, because you know how Facebook and YouTube are with copyrighted music. Do I have your permission to play your latest song that you just released, I believe at the end of January, called Open? And then once we play it, maybe get you to get your thoughts about it and what your inspiration was.
Of course. Play away. Play away. It's my absolute pleasure. Thank you.
And this is also courtesy of your YouTube channel. And your YouTube channel is what? Olivia Lynn. And
Yes.
please make sure you subscribe and hit the like notification. Olivia, please just let me know if you can hear the audio okay?
Will do.
All right. And this is opened by UK country music recording superstar Olivia Lynn.
My mother always said, oh, live you love too much. My father always said, oh, you don't live enough. And for some strange reason I can't seem to keep my mouth shut. Wanna prove to this whole world I deserve this and so much else. And I don't know how I can prove them wrong. I know I'm a good person, or so I thought. This world can turn someone who is so soft to lose their faith and feel so lost. My heart breaks a little every time I slip up again, and I don't know what I can do to fix the broken. I'm so sick and tired of sitting around and moping, blowing out my birthday candles. I'm just hoping you're not gonna take my words and twist and choke them. My mama always told me I was way too open. I try to keep quiet, but the silence ain't my thing. I don't keep my phone on silent, cause I need to hear that ring. And for some strange reason I'm scared about who to trust, cause with my whole goddamn life, those I've trusted left me in the dust. And I don't know how I can prove them wrong. I know I'm a good person, or so I thought. This world can turn someone who is so soft to lose their faith and feel so lost. My heart breaks a little every time I slip up again, and I don't know what I can do to fix the broken. I'm so sick and tired of sitting around and moping, blowing out my birthday candles. I'm just hoping you're not gonna take my words and twist and choke them. My mama always told me I was way too open. And, close me down, shut my mouth, let this silence out, need the noise right now. Close me down, shut my mouth, let this silence out. Can you notice me now? My heart breaks a little every time I slip up again, and I don't know what I can do to fix the broken. I'm so sick and tired of sitting around and moping, hoping you're not gonna take my words and twist and choke them. My mama always told me I was way too open. Oh,
That was courtesy of Olivia Lynn's YouTube channel. Please hit subscribe and hit like. And that was Open. And just thoughts on your latest single, number 18, called Open. And what were some of your inspirations?
For that song, one of my inspirations was being told by my mum a lot that I'm a very trustworthy person, and sadly sometimes you shouldn't be. I tend to not think, and I am very open about things, which is why it's called Open, and I tell people things that maybe I shouldn't, and I'm very trusting and often trust the wrong people. And my mum used to tell me all the time, Liv, some things just keep to yourself. Be careful who you open up to, and things like that. And actually, at the start of the song, it says, "My mother always says, oh, Liv, you trust too much and you love too much." And it was just about feeling like I give my all to people, and I don't really get much back sometimes, or I give my all to people and I end up getting completely messed over, and I end up really hurt and damaged over it. So that's actually the inspiration of the song. So it's actually quite sad meaning behind the song, but I liked how I kept the lyrics sad and kind of like serious and straight to the point, but also kept that upbeat throughout the song with the beat and the metronome, and kept it nice and vibrant. I think I really like the contrast when people and artists do that with their songs. So but yeah, I'm super, super happy with this song. I mean, every time I listen to it, it's something that I can confidently say I'm really, really proud of. And I feel like as I get older and the more each song I release, it, without sounding big-headed, obviously, it does tend to get better for me personally. The growth is there, and it gets better and better, and I'm growing in different ways lyrically and as an artist. So yeah.
It's a very catchy song, and your mom is now following me on Instagram, and everyone's watching this, and that's great. Who else in your family had music ability besides yourself?
So my mum can actually sing. She has sung before. She used to do pantomimes when she was younger, and acting and things like that. And she actually wanted to be in the music career when she was younger. So she can sing. My nana as well, my mum's mum, she can sing as well, and she's brilliant. She's got a really like country tone. My nana does. My nana literally sounds like a country singer. I'll have to I think I've actually got a clip of her singing from a karaoke at night, and I'll have to put it on my Instagram story. So if anyone's watching or anyone's got me on Instagram, keep an eye out for that, and I'll post a video of her. But you know what? It's weird because most of my family is quite musical. Like my little brother, he loves to dance. Like he can hold a tune when he's singing. And my dad, he'll tell you he can't, and he'll say it as a joke, but he can actually sing. My sister even as well. I think the only one who I've not heard properly sing is my eldest brother. He's 21. And I've not actually heard him properly sing. But literally pretty much everyone has got some musical ability in my family. But I think that does stem from us as kids. We used to put on shows for like my parents in the living room, and we used to do dance routines and make up songs and things like that. So I think that does stem from maybe me kind of pushing the music onto my younger siblings, and wanting them to write songs with me and stuff like that, and that's where it's rubbed off from. But we've always loved music and listened to music always. So yeah.
I tried karaoke once about 6 years ago in New York City. I had a few drinks when I was there for vacation.
Oh, no.
I had a good time. The only problem was when I did karaoke, I had fun, but I emptied out the bar. So my God-given ability is the ability to talk and listen. And I have so much respect for people that can sing, because it's not easy. And also too, your voice. Do you ever see somebody for your vocals, a vocal coach, they call them?
So I used to when I was younger. I used to see a vocal coach every Sunday, but that was like when I was really young. To be fair, I stopped doing that when I was about 13. And then when I was with my management, I saw a vocal coach maybe about 4 or 5 times. It was only before I was doing a big gig or something like that that she would give me tips. But throughout my life of going to different drama schools and different and having that vocal coach from the past and having singing lessons when I was younger, I like group ones, I have just taken bits from experiences and kept them to myself. So now I know before I do a gig, do this to warm up and do this to warm up. And it's not just your throat, it's your body. Open your body up as well. So yeah, it definitely all pays off 100%.
How well has your latest single "Open" been received in the UK and internationally via live streaming platforms such as Apple and Spotify?
So I've actually got my Spotify stats, so I can actually see it has done really, really well on Spotify. I tend to find that it always does more so on Spotify, and it's definitely done well internationally as well. That is one thing about my music; it always does well everywhere, not just the UK. So I've heard it's gone places like Paris and things like that, and obviously. It's being played in America, and there's a few radio stations in America that I've had it played on as well. And I think there's another one in Canada as well, actually. So it definitely does well internationally. I think that is because I have got such a great support system online though, and with everyone sharing it, it obviously it puts out the word and it spreads it around more. So super grateful to everyone who has helped me on this journey with that. And my Apple Music, I'm actually not too sure, but obviously on Apple, when you on Apple you actually have to like buy it as a single, whereas on Spotify I don't think you need to. I think Spotify you can just add it to a playlist. So I get most of my royalties from streams, obviously, and if people purchase it on iTunes as well, which is like a massive help. And when people purchase it on iTunes, my dad told me this. See, I wouldn't even know this otherwise. When people purchase it on iTunes, it puts me in the charts on Apple Music, and it puts me in like the country charts. And I actually hit number 14 in the country charts, which was absolutely brilliant.
That's awesome. And would you like to plug all your social media sites and where your music's available right now?
Oh, 100%. Thank you very much, Chris. So I've got literally every social media going. So I've got my Instagram, which is Olivia Lynn Official. My Twitter, or X, as people like to call it, I never know what to call it nowadays, is Liv Lynn Official. My TikTok is Olivia Lynn Official. And I do have on there as well, which I just post silly stuff on. So if you wanted to have a look, you can. It's Olivia Lynn Official Spam. And then my Facebook is just Olivia Lynn. My YouTube is Olivia Lynn. And then my Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, and all of the streaming for my music is Olivia Lynn as well.
What's the best way for somebody to contact you?
I'd say the best way for somebody to contact me is definitely via my Instagram. My mum is hot on checking my Instagram. She's got my login, so she's helping with all my DMs and things like that. Otherwise, I just get too flooded. But definitely Instagram is the best way to contact me. It pops up in my requests and I can reply to you as soon as possible.
Olivia, do you have another 5 minutes? Can I get 5 more minutes, a couple more questions out of you?
Of course you can, Chris.
Okay, I grew up in the 70s where we had the 8-track and the vinyl records and stuff like that. What are your thoughts on the shrinking CD industry and thoughts on the vinyl record industry coming back?
I think it's brilliant that it's making a comeback. I think it sounds awesome. One thing that I've always been asked about, so by my older audiences and my older supporters, is where can I purchase a CD? Because my older audiences don't have, like Spotify or Apple Music and things like that, and they don't know how to use it. So sometimes I do feel a little bit disheartened because, they're so used to being able to actually have this hard copy of a song, and I can't turn around and say, oh, I have that. But it's something that I definitely would like to do because I spoke about getting like some merch a couple of years ago when I was doing really well with keeping up on my music and things like that. If I ever did any merch, CDs is definitely something I would want to do. With my new album hopefully coming out this year, fingers crossed, which obviously we had spoken about before, I am hoping to get some CDs for it. And when I go to gigs and things like that, I can put them out available for people to purchase. But I do think it's brilliant that, vinyl is making a comeback. And I think this tends to be a running theme in this world where elder things, they go
Retro.
quiet and then they come back again and they return.
Retros,
Yeah.
like bell bottoms. And I've also
Right?
heard bell bottoms. I've seen them here, and I've also seen cassettes. Apparently cassettes are coming back too.
Well, I love a bell bottom and I love a flare, and I'm a sucker for a bell bottom jean, and I've got 2 pairs. I may not be able to fit into them right now with this big belly, but I'm telling you, when this baby's out, I'm definitely be rocking those with a cowboy hat again.
By the way, I'm a '80s type guy, so hey, I'm glad I kept my wardrobe from the '80s because it's all coming back.
Exactly right. You'll be in fashion. I reckon you could sell some of that and get hundreds for it.
Absolutely. And I wanted to talk to you about this as well, Olivia. Can you just tell us about some of your upcoming projects, possibly going into 2024? Or sorry, going into 2025. I'm a little behind. I can't believe it's 2025.
Same. My brain is baby brain at the minute, so I'm exactly the same. No, I've got a few up and coming projects this year, which I'm super excited about. I'm like I said, just previously dropped it in there. Is I'm hoping to get an album together for this year. I actually mentioned to Chris in us just speaking together that I have about 18 songs written. I have so many
Wow.
written. I just need to release them. I've got so many, and there's so many different types of songs as well. And some of them are brilliant, and I just cannot wait to share them with you guys. I just want to perfect them, get some music to them, get them produced, get in that studio again, and hopefully they will be, fingers crossed, out this year as part of an album with a load of different songs on there. I've got a few gigs coming up planned, a few private functions like weddings and things like that, but still rocking it with the country festivals. I've got my first country festival in, I want to say May, in Yorkshire, which me and my family are going to be traveling down to, and it's going to be my baby's first festival as well. She's going to be coming down with us and listening to me, her mum, sing my songs, which I'm super excited about. So that's my kind of projects for this year. Definitely would love to feature on a few more tracks from my my co-workers and fellow musicians such as David Hunt and Dan James Shaw and things like that. Regarding being a new mum, I am so super excited. It's a new journey. It's definitely going to be a hard one. I'm sure, but like I said, with the support of my family that I've got, I know that I've got it handled, and I just can't wait till she's here and to share my music with her and to get her learning my songs.
Also, you mentioned an album. Now you've written 18 songs. Are you going to put all 18 on your album, or how are you going to decide which songs you want on your album?
So what I'm going to do is they won't be all 18. So far I'm going to pick out a good solid 5. Obviously I've written 18 songs. They're all fully written, but some of them I wrote quite a while ago and aren't relevant, or some of them I might listen to and go, oh, what was I thinking when I wrote that? So I'm going to go through them actually. I've actually got a solid 5 that I want to take and release. And I'll let you guys in on a little secret. I am hoping to re-release my my 2 songs that I had written under my management and release them as my own. So and put them on my album as well. All about being an independent artist. We're all about supporting each other around here. So that's the plan, and I'm really excited.
That's awesome. And I'm watching our show right now on Instagram. I'm trying to keep up with the comments. And your mom says you're playing at the Longest Day Festival in Yorkshire on Saturday, June 28th. That's one day before my birthday.
Oh,
My
really?
birthday is June 29th, so that's awesome. And then Scotty Lynn says some big songs coming. And then another one says, "Congrats on the Super Bowl, Chris. Thank you so much." And then your mom goes June. And that's my favorite month because that's when I was born on the 29th. And then Christopher Bach, if you need a tech and a host for your world tour, let me know. Buzzing for all that is coming your way. You're so deserved. Gil Brown, I'm trying to keep up with the comments here. This is amazing. You need to record a lullaby for the baby.
Oh, this is a good idea.
And another comment, can't wait. And I just want to say thank you to, hey, the guest is always the star. I'm just a host. So I want to say thank you to everyone watching this live stream and also on my audio platforms as well. And the guests are always the star. And I just really enjoyed having you back on again today.
No, thank you so much for having me, Chris. You know, it is always a pleasure. And what a way to kickstart, having my podcast and live streams back up and running again, if not with you, my first one. So thank you.
And this is a new segment I do with all my guests before I wrap up.
Ooh.
What are some fun facts about Olivia Lynn, or even one fun fact?
Let me think. Fun facts about me. Oh gosh, I can't be that boring. Surely not. There's got to be some fun facts about me. I like to eat weird food combinations, maybe. So I like to eat like peppers mixed with vinegar and cucumbers mixed with vinegar. Any other fun facts about me? What? I don't even know. Well, I can tell you. I was gonna say something, but maybe it's not appropriate. I was gonna say, fun fact about me right now is that I most definitely cannot fit into any of my country clothes, my country shoes, or anything like that because the child inside of me has made me put on 2 stones. So that's a fun fact for me right now. But no, I'm not. I feel like such a boring person, but I guess a fun fact about me is that I post random crap on TikTok sometimes, and maybe I shouldn't, but I don't really care, and I just post what I want now. So,
and if you in the future, once you've had your baby and a little bit of time, is there one country in the world that you would like to do your music tour? 1 or 2 countries that you would like to?
This is a weird one. One would be Germany. Definitely Germany. And I'm going to say this one purely because of Nashville and Texas would be America.
Nashville, yeah, that's pretty well the heartbeat of country music.
Exactly right. Yeah, I'd say I'm going to settle with those for now.
And we'll add a third one, Canada.
Canada.
We like the UK people over here in Canada, and I think we're similar too, by the way. How's the weather in the UK right now? I know we're getting a lot of snow this year and cold temps.
You're getting snow right now?
We had a whole bunch on Saturday. We get about a foot of snow here.
What? Well, right now for us, it's just miserable. One day it is literally sun is shining, and then the next day, rain, hail, and then bits of snow, but it's not settling. So right now, it's not very nice. It's really cold outside, but I'm really hoping that it picks up soon and gets a little bit nicer for springtime.
I'll take our weather over what happened in LA with the fires. I know, you know what I mean? With the fires over there, the mudslides, the earthquakes and stuff like that.
I would take our weather as well.
I think we're both lucky where we live weather-wise because it's just devastating what happened out in Los Angeles, California with their fires, and then they get earthquakes and mudslides and all that. It's just I just can't imagine.
No, I couldn't imagine that either. I mean, nowadays we have enough to worry about, let alone, the climate and things like that, and earthquakes and fires. It's absolutely insane. So I agree. I'll take the rain over that any day.
And another fun question I wanted to ask you: what's the biggest stereotype when you tell people that you're from the UK?
Biggest stereotype when I tell people I'm from the UK, maybe musically, is that they don't think I do country. If I weren't to say that I do country, the genre that everyone would say I would do because I'm from the UK would be pop, straight away. But other than that, not really any other stereotype about being from the UK. Or maybe things like, silly things like, oh, do you eat fish and chips all the time? And do you drink tea every day and stuff like that? But, there's like fun little comments that I can deal with. And, I pretty much do drink tea every day. So maybe I am a stereotypical Brit. Who knows?
And I got some more comments here before I wrap this show up. Fun fact, Liv is a good girlfriend. Christopher, he goes, fun fact, Olivia is a great competitor and a dance-off. And then your mom, fun fact, Liv is a brilliant daughter. And then another comment, I'm trying to keep up with them. Fun fact, Olivia not singing, she is talking. And then tea and scones. Oh, I like scones. I like blueberry scones.
I love scones. They're really good.
Blueberry's the best.
I've never tried a blueberry scone, and I'm from the UK, so maybe I need to try it.
Try it with blueberries. It's awesome.
You got it. I'm going to try this. This is your request.
And what's one thing about Canada you know about us Canadians, Canucks?
One thing about Canada, this is going to seem really stereotypical, Chris.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, please don't be offended. I'd say the maple syrup.
That's okay. Maple syrup, yes. And beer and donuts and hockey.
Hockey as well, yeah.
Hockey, lacrosse. And hockey is over in the UK now too.
Oh, really? I didn't even know this, Chris. You know more than me.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to really have to get out there one day because, like I said, I've traveled to more of the states in my own country, so I need to travel Canada because we have the second biggest country in the world after Russia for land-wise.
Yes.
And then I'd like to travel out to the UK and some of these other countries as well. But before I wrap this up, where can my audience again follow you on social media? And I know you don't have a website, but it's now Linktree, and I have it down here on the ticker.
Yes, so I see that you've got my Linktree down there, which is brilliant. So thank you so much. My social media, which is my Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and TikTok and Twitter/X, is all Liv Lynn Official or Olivia Lynn or Olivia Lynn Official, all under them titles. And regarding a website, that is yet another project that I'm hoping will be up this year. My own website, and my amazing dad is helping me sort that out. So fingers crossed that'll be the next thing.
All right. Well, I want to say, Olivia, thank you for staying up late because I know it's almost 10 o'clock your time. It's almost 5 o'clock here, but I just want to say thank you again to your mom, Perry, for doing this. And thank you to everyone watching this live stream or later on my audio platforms. Give me a little bit of time tonight and I will send you the video, the audio, and then I will edit the video into 30 to 45 second clips. And I will tag you on social media platforms as well.
Perfect. That sounds absolutely brilliant. Chris, it's been a pleasure and it always will be. So thank you so much for having me back.
And do you have one last question for the host?
One question for the host. Let me see. I've got one. What if I didn't sing country music, Chris? What style of music would you like me to potentially sing or do a cover of?
Pop rock or folk?
Folk. Yeah, I like that. Okay, good answer.
Maybe one day I'll get you to write a song for my show.
Yes, how awesome. Maybe I'll write a jingle for your show. Who knows?
So, anyways, again, this technology is just amazing, and it's just great to reconnect with you again. And I've got some other country music artists from the Nashville area coming on, and what I'll do is I'll try to put you in touch with them as well.
Brilliant. That would be amazing. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you.
And I grew up as a classic rock person in the 70s and 80s, but having so many country music people on from Canada, the UK, the US, I'm now a fan of the music and I really enjoy it.
That makes my heart happy and it means a lot. So I'm glad you enjoy it.
All right. Well, Olivia, make sure you take care of yourself and your daughter. Congratulations on becoming a mom. And thank you so much for coming on here today. And you have an open invite to come back on my show again in the future when you release more singles and your new album's out as well.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, and it's been lovely speaking to you. It always is. It's like a breath of fresh air. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And hopefully one day when you do come down to Canada, I'll be able to see you perform live too.
I hope so. I really, really hope so.
All right. Well, you take care of yourself and your daughter, and say hi to your mom again and thank her for me. And we'll be in touch. Okay.
100%. Thank you, Chris. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Olivia. You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. That wraps up season 9, episode 53. Overall 493 of Live with CDP Sports Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership in Wellington Brewery here in Guelph. That was my guest, Olivia Lynn, her second appearance on my show. She is a UK country music recording artist and songwriter, and she was telling us how big the country music industry has grown over in the UK. And she just released her latest song on Spotify and Apple iTunes and on her YouTube channel called Open. So please track out Olivia Lynn on social media platforms and subscribe to her YouTube channel and on Spotify and iTunes. And if you watch this show later on or on audio, we did play a clip of her latest song, Open, which she just released at the end of January as well. As we wrap up this show, guys, the next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership in Wellington Brewery, is going to be on Wednesday, February 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern with my special guest, America. I got it. America Hopkins. She's a stand-up comedian out of Los Angeles. So we're going to talk to America about her career in the comedy industry, how she started up, and we're going to promote some of her upcoming live shows as well. And that'll be 7 o'clock this Wednesday night. And please make sure you tune in. Brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet and Wellington Brewery. The Cambridge and District Humane Society is celebrating their 70th anniversary with a masquerade black tie event this Thursday, February 13th at Tapestry Hall, located at 74 Grand Avenue South in Cambridge, Ontario. Tickets are $250 for VIP admission, and general admission tickets are $175. Please hurry and get your tickets because I believe this event is almost sold out. And you can purchase your tickets via etransferexec.director@cambridgehumanesociety.org or visit the Cambridge District Humane Society in person at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. For more information, check out cambridgehumanesociety.org. Also, if you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge District Humane Society at 1650 Dunbar Road. Telephone number 519-623-7722, extension 0. All the animals up for adoption, their profiles are on cambridgehumanesociety.org. And if you're looking to volunteer like I do twice a week as a dog walker, you can fill out a volunteer application through their website. And they're also doing a raffle a draw too, where the winner gets half and the Cambridge Humane Society gets the other half. Go on their website, cambridgehumanesociety.org, and click on events and get your ticket today. Also, guys, I am now on Blue Sky. You can follow me on Blue Sky at live with cdp19.bluesky.social. I'm on Blue Sky now. Wellington Brewery, founded in 1985, 950 Woodlawn Road West here in Guelph, Ontario. The website is wellingtonbrewery.ca, or you can call them at 519-837-2337. Try a Welly on. Please remember to drink responsibly. First brewed way back in 1986, this legendary British-styled strong ale is an all-time favorite that we bring back every winter. To celebrate 40 years of Wellington Brewery, we are re-releasing Iron Duke in special vintage packaging, just like you remember it was, with a robust malt character showcasing notes of toffee, caramel, and raisin. Iron Duke remains a classic winter warmer. You can find this beloved brew on our online store, wellingtonbrewery.ca, a little plug there, with local and provincial wide shipping available. or pop into our retail store and come say hi at 950 Woodlawn Road West in Guelph, Ontario, not far from my other sponsor, Barry Cullen Chevrolet dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Automall. Check out barrycullen.com for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with your great selection of all-electric vehicles and Cadillac products. You can call Barry Cullen Chevrolet at 519-824-0210 or email them at info@barrycullen.com. Tell them that Chris Palme sent you there as well. Speaking of Barry Cullen Chevrolet, right now it's the winter time, and you know how winter can be hard on those batteries here in Canada. Well, Barry Cullen Chevrolet is your go-to service center this winter. A no-charge battery test for free. That's right, a free no battery test check. $20 instant rebate if you need a new battery. And the $20 instant rebate, again, is on a new AC Delco 12-volt battery. So if you do need a new battery, they will give you a $20 voucher for an AC Delco 12-volt battery. And that's a great thing. Just get your battery checked out. It's better to have it checked out now in these cold wintry temperatures to make sure it's still strong. And if it's not and it needs to be replaced, Barry Cullen Chevrolet will throw in a $20 instant rebate as well. So more details on that at barrycullen.com. Before we wrap up this show, guys, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, again, is on these websites. On YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And I want to say thank you to everyone watching here again. So Live with CDP Sports Talk is again live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and Instagram as well. Also, guys, you can check out my website, beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. All my media work and content is on beacons.ai/Chris D. Palme. You can also follow this content creator on TikTok at Live with CDP. Unfortunately, about a week ago, I lost my original TikTok account with 2,800 followers. Unfortunately, I couldn't get that account back, so I had to create a new page. Type in at Live with CDP or Chris Palme. I'm back on TikTok, and I'm got 110 followers. So if you follow me there before, please find me on TikTok and hit that follow and like notification. I post a lot of good content on TikTok. StreamYard is the official live stream provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars or podcasting, such as myself, check out StreamYard.com. They have basic free plans or paid professional plans like I do. And if you're a business that does a lot of webinars or live streaming, StreamYard.com/sales department. I've been with StreamYard now for over 4 years. I highly recommend StreamYard. Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, the audio versions on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, YouTube Music, and Good Pods. And make sure you hit the subscribe notifications. Finally, you can email Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show at cpalme19@gmail.com. That's cpalme19@gmail.com. And also, guys, I'm on PayPal. If you'd like to support my radio and media work here on social media, you can do PayPal, cpalme19@gmail.com. And also, I am on Cameo Family. I joined the Cameo Family about a year ago, and if you like a personalized video message from yours truly, click on cameo.com/Chris Palme and book your Cameo today as well. And I've got another comment here before we wrap this show up. I want to say thank you to Gary Lemon and everybody that's watching this for watching this as well. And another comment. Okay, that's just spam there. So thank you to Gary and everybody for watching this today. And I want to say thank you to my special guest, Olivia Lynn. She is a very upcoming, talented country music recording artist from the UK, the United Kingdom, and she's got a bright future ahead of her. So I want to say thank you to Olivia Lynn for coming on, and to congratulate Olivia on having her first child, a daughter, coming up in 3 weeks. And I want to say thank you to her agent, her mom, Perry, for arranging this show. And thank you to everyone watching this live streamed or on audio platforms as well. And again, my next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment talk show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet and Wellington Brewery, again, is Wednesday, February 12th at 7 p.m. with my special guest, America Hawkins. She's a stand-up comedian based out of Los Angeles, California. I'm looking forward to speaking to America as well. So that's about it, guys. And as before we wrap this show up, the Philadelphia Eagles won Super Bowl 59, 40-22 over the Kansas City Chiefs. I've wanted to say this for a year now. Three-peat denied. Much respect and credit to the Kansas City Chiefs, but they ran into a better football team last night in New Orleans. And Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl champion and a Super Bowl MVP. And even though the Chiefs did a nice job on Saquon Barkley, 25 carries, only 57 yards, Jalen Hurts, 72 yards rushing, 221 yards passing. Jalen Hurts has done something Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen have never done, beating Pat Mahomes in a playoff game in a Super Bowl. And the Eagles now have 2 Super Bowl championships in 7 years. And this is their 3rd trip to the Super Bowl in 8 years and 2 Super Bowls. As a longtime suffering Eagles fan, I never thought the Eagles would win 1 Super Bowl, and now they've won 2. And this core is young and talented. And under Nick Sirianni, who's now the greatest coach in Philadelphia Eagles history, along with Howie Roseman, the best GM, I can see the Eagles getting back to another Super Bowl next year and possibly repeating. So I'm so happy for the Eagles, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Everybody yesterday contributed, and that Eagles defense, I've been saying all year, is the best defense in the National Football League. Everybody talked about the Detroit Lions and the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. They forgot about the Eagles. And the Eagles' number 1 defense sacked Mahomes 6 times. Got a fumble out of Mahomes and 2 interceptions. And the 22-year-old kid from Iowa on his birthday, along with Saquon Barkley, Cooper DeJean, a pick 6 touchdown. And to me, that pick 6 sealed the game. It was only 10-0 at the time. And when Mahomes threw that and DeJean got the pick, I'm thinking, okay, get down to field goal range, and that's it. We'll kick 3 more points. Cooper DeJean caught that ball and ran it in for 38-yard touchdown. That really sealed the deal, up 17-0. And then Zach Bond, who they got as a free agent from the Saints, another interception of Mahomes, and then Hurts to A.J. Brown, 24-0 at halftime, and that was basically the game. Kansas City got a couple of late touchdowns at the end of the game in garbage time, meaningless time. This game really wasn't as close as 40-22. It was basically 40-0 as far as I'm concerned. But the Chiefs three-peat denied, and the Philadelphia Eagles are now world champions again for the 2nd time in 7 years. And between the Eagles' 2 championships, the Toronto Argonauts have won 8 Grey Cups in the last 40 years, including 2 in the last 3 years, and the Michigan Wolverines national championship in 2023. And of course, the Buffalo Bandits back-to-back lacrosse championships. As a fan, appreciate championships because they are so hard to win. So when your team wins a championship, just appreciate and enjoy it because it is so incredibly hard. There's a lot of great athletes out there that never get to a championship, let alone win it. And Jalen Hurts, like it or not, Buffalo, I'm going to say this to Bills Mafia, Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Josh Allen, and Jalen Hurts knows how to win. And I don't want to hear any more of this. He's not elite quarterback. Jalen Hurts is one of the best quarterbacks in football. And in 4 meetings against Mahomes, he's outplayed Patrick Mahomes 3 out of 4 times, and he's outplayed Mahomes in both Super Bowls. And Hurts can throw the deep ball and beat you with his arm and his legs as well. So congratulations to Jeffrey Lowery, Howie Roseman, Nick Sirianni, and the Philadelphia Eagles. And as always, EAGLES, Eagles Go Birds. And again, I want to say thank you to everyone watching this show today and my guest, Olivia Lynn, for coming on. Please check out Olivia Lynn on her social media platforms and her latest single, Open. I hope everybody has a great night, and we'll see you back here Wednesday night at 7 o'clock for another edition of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Wellington Brewery and Barry Cullen Chevrolet here in Guelph.